My family and I live near a very beautiful lake in Kissimmee, Florida, named Lake Toho. We made the decision to buy a 14-foot Rogue River canoe. This canoe that we bought was actually 16 years old. It's an Old Town Rogue River canoe, and I took it out with my sons, and we had a lot of fun on Lake Toho and went up and down the lake, went out to some of the islands that are out there, and I'm telling you what, we had a good old time. There was a problem, though. While my son and I were bringing it home from one of our lake excursions, we heard a popping noise. And as we were carrying the canoe, we turned around and looked closer at the canoe to inspect it and realized the middle seat had popped off of its rivet plate. There's a little rivet plate on the inside of the boat right next to the middle seat. And because the seat popped up, there was no way to really transport the canoe upside down or store the canoe upside down without the seat falling out. And so you can kind of see as I lift up the middle seat, the seat just comes straight up out of the boat, and it was just a mess. There was just no good way to fasten the seat down. So I wrote Old Town. I called them up, and they said, send us photos of what you're dealing with, and I sent them some photos, and they sent me a fix. They said, well, you need to buy a brand new seat and some hardware to install a brand new seat where the old one was. And that the seat that I had with the rivet plate is no longer being used by Old Town. And so they showed me a bunch of photos of what it would involve. And I thought, okay, not a bad deal. How much is this going to cost me? And it was $173.50. So no offense to Old Town, but I looked at that and thought, you know what? I can fix this thing by myself. So here's how I chose to fix my boat, and here's what you'll need if you have a similar issue. You're going to need to go out and buy some hand riveter. I say it's $5 because I got mine at Harbor Freight. You're going to need some Yak Gear kayak rivets. They're $5 at Academy Sports. Get a tube of silicone. You can get that anywhere. I got mine for $3. You need a drill. Any drill will work with a 3/16 drill bit. And you'll need some pliers, and that's about all you'll need. So here I am getting my drill bit. It's one of these guys, and as I pick out the drill bit, I'm assembling my stuff. I want you to know that I bought my riveter, my hand riveter, from Harbor Freight, and they had it on sale for $4.99. You get a nice hand riveter, plus you get 100 rivets that you can use. But none of those rivets are going to work well for a canoe. You need a good waterproof rivet, and so I bought the Yak Gear rivets that were for sale over at Academy Sports. And looking on the back, they use a 3/16 drill bit, and this is a 3/16 hand riveter. And really, the 3/16 was in the hand riveter when I pulled the hand riveter out of its box. So I assembled all my stuff out near the boat. I've got my extension cord, my hand riveter, my silicone, my drill. I grabbed a pair of pliers that has the cutters on it. And I put a bucket under my middle seat. And I grabbed my pliers and I started cutting away the rivets, the old rivets that were on the interior of the boat. It only took a few minutes to get those out. And once I got those, I kind of placed them aside and just kind of laid them down somewhere on the boat where they were out of the way. And then the next thing I was able to do is, as I was looking into the old seat, I grabbed the drill and started pushing in all the old rivets. They're not worth getting out. You can just push them in. They're not going to bother you. So I grabbed my drill and pushed in every one of those rivets. Just took a few seconds to do that. And then from the inside of the boat, drilling out, I went through the rivet holes and made 4 holes drilling from the inside of the boat to the outside of the boat. And then I started to silicone down the kayak, the Yak rivets that I had bought. These are waterproof rivets that once they set, they will be waterproof, which is perfect for a canoe. And once you silicone those things really good, you want to stick them all the way into the rivet holes. And you know you've done it well when you line up the holes well and they go through the boat, through the rivet plate, and into the seat. And now you want to grab your rivet gun, the riveter there, the hand riveter, and it took just a minute to kind of go through each rivet and to clip those things through the riveter, the hand riveter, where the rivets were set. And so it took a while. It was very hard to hold a camera and do this at the same time. But once those rivets were set, you can kind of tell as you looked at them that the silicone was pushed up and around each rivet. And then you still have a hole in the middle, and they suggest you put a drop of silicone or a little bit of silicone left in each one of the holes. So I was able to do that. And this is a finished product here. And now I have a very sturdy boat. Each rivet holds up 200 pounds of pressure. So with 4 rivets, I have an 800 pounds of pressure riveted seat. And it cost me about 13 bucks to do this. So if you have an Old Town boat that you need to repair, maybe this would help you with your boat. I'm very thankful for my 16-year-old boat, and I can't wait for the years, hopefully 16 more years ahead. These are very durable boats that I can use in the future as we continue taking our canoe out.